Alright everyone, we start off today of course with Joe Biden claiming that he has cancer. He claimed this the other day. Link in the description, archived of course. That's literally what he said, that he got cancer down in Delaware, I suppose. Here's the thing, this is obviously a gaffe. I don't think that he actually has cancer. Clearly, he appears to have been referring to the removal of some benign growths that he had some time ago, which were problematic. He has had aneurysms. He's had multiple falls in the last couple of years. He's constantly in a dementia haze, but I don't think he genuinely has cancer, and I'm actually hoping that he doesn't. Some people I see, they're like, oh, Biden's going to die. Do you really want Biden to die while he's in office, considering the alternative? I said at the beginning of the asterisk administration, a lot of people that don't even like fucking Joe Biden or neoliberal policies are going to be fucking praying for his good health simply because Kamala Harris otherwise becomes the president of the United States. If you think that the Joe Biden asterisk administration is problematic and has its various foibles, his approval is deep underwater. By the way, he's hitting a new low in approval. He's sailing down towards the mid-30s now. He doesn't have to lose much more to hit that mark. He's almost a lame duck president at this point, especially since Manchin won't let him pass anything. I strongly approve of this, by the way. Manchin, again, useful idiot, but useful nonetheless situationally. Unless it happens to be about guns, I suppose. I'm trying to ram that through as well. It's thankfully DOA in the Senate. It's already been passed on by the senators. They parsed that particular assault weapons ban part out of the initial bill on gun control. It's clear that they're not going to pass it now. Here's the thing. This shows not that Joe Biden has cancer. This shows that Joe Biden has cognitive decline. He's mixing up his stories. This can be typical of dementia. He's mixing up things that have happened to him and not really referencing the frame of time or the situation in which they happen. So he's confused. He's got the old man confusion thing going on. And so he was referencing the removal of something that I don't believe was cancer at all. It was worrisome possible cancer, and that was done, a couple of years ago. And he's referencing it as though it was contemporary and as though it was actually, he's like fucking dying of skin cancer or something. So thankfully, it doesn't appear that that is actually the case, because then you get President Kamala Harris, and that would be worse. Much as I dislike Biden, I don't like his policies, I don't like the way that he acts, he's dismissive of people's problems to an extreme degree. He's definitely not well-spoken, and as far as the diplomatic end of things go, with the fist bump with the Saudi prince and so forth, you can give him an F- preemptively, not even halfway through his asterisk administration on diplomatic issues. Let me ask you this, would the alternative do better or worse? I think she would somehow manage to supplant him. I think it would be one for the history books. It'd be legendary. Imagine President Kamala Harris doing diplomacy. She won't even fucking visit the border over which she reigns technically as borders are. To this day, a year and a half into the asterisk administration, she has never been within sight of the southern border. Kamala Harris is even more poorly spoken, and she doesn't have, hey, I'm pushing 80 years old and I suffer from dementia as a fallback, as an explanation for actually what's happening. She doesn't even know what's going on. She's asked questions sometimes, even in the most fair of senses. She's asked an innocuous question by journalists and starts getting combative. Biden, other than getting that old man anger up occasionally, even he doesn't do that. It's happened a couple of times with Kamala. It seems to be every time that she takes a question that's off the cuff. So I'm if I was a praying man, if I was religious, I'd be praying for Biden's good health, actually, at the moment. Also, if Biden's in reasonably good health, there's a good chance that he at least tries to run in 2024, which would be goddamn hilarious. Can you imagine this seeping vegetable, this rotting papaya, attempting to run again in 2024? I'm hoping that it happens. I hope Trump waits till after the midterms to announce. Although he's trying to freeze out the field, he might announce in September. That's most of the betting money is on him not waiting for the midterms. I think that's a tactical error. We'll see if I'm right about that. A Trump v. Biden rematch would be like night and day. It would be a curb stomping for, again, the history books, and I really want to see that happen. If Joe Biden has to resign from office because he says, hey, I'm going to be on chemo. I'm going to get even more fucked up than I already am and probably die in the process. Kamala Harris becomes the heir apparent, and that would be, I think, a disaster for the United States. She wouldn't win. It would make it even easier potentially for Trump or whoever runs to defeat her as opposed to Biden. Somehow she would be even a weaker candidate. Can you imagine the debates, of course? But I don't want her anywhere near the presidency. The fact that she was even chosen as running mate is already deeply problematic enough. But the funnier part is the damage control that immediately erupted the second that Biden said this. And the White House has had to fucking do this over and over and over again. This is like, what, the 30th or 40th time over just the last year. Not even the last year, since the beginning of this year, like the last half a year or so. This is like the 30th or 40th time the White House has had to come out and contravene something that's said by the sitting president of the United States himself. The only other administration that even comes close with regards to re-clarifying what was said and spinning it is the W administration. Trump had his own verbal gaffes and occasionally got countermanded by his own people clarifying what he said. Occasionally this happened to Obama. Herbert Walker did better. Jimmy Carter did better. Ronald Reagan, first term never was a problem. Second term, of course, there was a little bit of dementia there as well. I think Biden's a couple years ahead of where Reagan was in his second term as far as his cognitive decline goes, which age-wise would be roughly appropriate. This is not evidence that Joe Biden is dying of cancer, thankfully. It's evidence that his mind is turning to mush. The odds of him running in 2024 with each and every one of these gaffes lowers. It's now well below 50-50. It's like maybe a 30-70 in favor of him running. I wouldn't think that there's a huge likelihood of it. I don't even think that he really has designs to do so. I'm hoping, though, that actually happens, because it will be absolutely hilarious in every possible way, even if it is elder abuse by the people around him who don't say, hey, Joe, it's time to quit. And I don't want Kamala Harris in office. So long life to you, Joe, at least until your term ends, which I expect will be the only term. Please don't get cancer or monkeypox or anything like that. If you do one thing during your entire presidency that'll be useful, it'll be keeping Kamala Harris out of that office, because she is actually so much worse. Listen to your wife, Joe. Make sure to take your bran muffin and have your dump in the morning. They clean you up and stuff. Drink your prune juice and take your multivitamins and whatever CIA drugs they're giving you so that you can't, so you can do something more than just shamble around completely aimless all the fucking time. There was an apocryphal story a couple of days ago where it looked like Jill Biden, I guess, gave him pills before all of his public appearances, and they're wondering what those pills are. Under any other circumstances, I'd call that a conspiracy theory. A legit one, like, hey, they're saying that the president's drugged up or whatever. With Joe Biden pushing 80 years old and clearly having mental problems, I actually believe it. So I hope that his dementia advances very slowly so he doesn't get 25th, because again, the alternative is 10,000 times worse. That's about all. Peace out.